This was the scene of one of the best coordinated and murderous terrorist acts in world history.
Inside the Hilton somewhere, I was like trapped. I don't know where I was. I couldn't find my way out with all the smoke and the debris in there. I finally just closed the door behind me and covered it so no more smoke and debris would come in. And what I did was I called my wife. I told her I love her.
Come on in. Come on in. Yes. Thank you.
I've never seen nothing like it in my life. World Trade, you got the phone company building got hit, everything.
Well, we'll leave the scenes of rubble and devastation in Lower Manhattan now as we expect the Prime Minister soon to be arriving at number 10 Downing Street. He has been, of course, meeting his security advisors and members of the Civil Contingencies Committee called COBRA from 8 o'clock this morning. There was a brief hiatus, of course, when there was a security alert at number 10 Downing Street. Yesterday, Mr Blair announced that security would be at the highest level. No flights will take off where security can't be guaranteed. Private flights have been stopped in the main. No civil flights of overflights of central London can take place. Police are on full alert and all defence facilities around the world have been put on full alert as well. He said that at airports there would be disruption, but he hoped people would understand that. Here is the Prime Minister. Let's hear him.
First of all, I would like to give you an update on this morning's meeting of the Civil Contingencies Committee. We have agreed to keep in place the additional security measures that I announced yesterday, at least for the rest of the day. This is a purely precautionary measure, but wise in the circumstances, and I hope those who are suffering the disruption understand why we believe this to be necessary. I should say to you that most of the city and business throughout the country is functioning as normal. We also discussed at the committee what practical help and expertise we can offer to America in dealing with the immediate aftermath of the tragedy. I will chair a further meeting of this committee later today, and in addition, there will be a special meeting of the Cabinet tomorrow. I should tell you in addition that the government has requested that Parliament be recalled, and the Speaker has agreed to this. I've consulted the Leader of the Opposition, the Leader of the Liberal Democrats and other parties, and proposed that Parliament be recalled for this Friday, the 14th of September, when I will make a statement to the House and the Foreign Secretary will then open a full debate on the issues that arise from yesterday's atrocity. I believe Parliament should be recalled both because of the sheer magnitude of what has happened and its implications, but also because this was an attack not just on a number of buildings in the United States of America, but on the very notion of democracy. It is therefore all the more important that democratic voices are heard, and in our country, Parliament is the right and proper place for that to happen. I've spoken to several world leaders, including the presidents of France and Russia, Chancellor Schröder, Prime Minister Berlusconi, and Prime Minister Verhofstadt in his capacity as the current President of the European Union. We all agreed that this attack is an attack not only on America, but on the free and democratic world. It demands our complete and united condemnation, our determination to bring those responsible to justice, and our full support for the American people at this time of trial. It is also clear that given the likely death toll, there will be many citizens of other states who will have died. I have to say to you that I fear significant numbers of them will be British. So in a very real and direct sense, the interests of this country are engaged. But even if that were not so, the world now knows the full evil and capability of international terrorism which menaces the whole of the democratic world. These terrorists responsible have no sense of humanity, of mercy, or of justice. To commit acts of this nature requires a fanaticism and a wickedness beyond our normal contemplation. The United States of America will, of course, consider the action it considers appropriate against those found to be responsible. But beyond that, there are issues connected with such terrorism that the international community as a whole must consider. Where these groups are, how they operate, how they are financed, how they are supported, and how they are stopped. One final point. I was pleased to see the very strong statement of condemnation from the Muslim Council of Britain and other Muslim organizations here, echoing the sentiments of the American Muslim Council. As Muslim leaders and clerics around the world are making clear, such acts of infamy and cruelty are wholly contrary to the Islamic faith. The vast majority of Muslims are decent, upright people who share our horror at what has happened. People of all faiths and all political persuasions have a common cause: to identify this machinery of terror and to dismantle it as swiftly as possible. With our American friends and other allies around the world, this is the task to which we now turn. That is the conclusion of my statement. I will take some questions. Before I do so, I just wish to make this clear to you. There will be questions at this juncture that I either can't or, frankly, won't at this moment answer. In particular, about the nature of whatever action the United States of America may take or the support they may call upon in respect of other countries. With that caveat, I'm happy to take some questions. Yes, Andy.
This may be one of those questions, Prime Minister, you can't answer, but